We will continue now with the functions of human resource management. Clearly, if you worked in this area of a company, you worked in the human resources department of a company, there would be many areas of activity that you would be associated with. So I'm going to go through the key subheadings of this and some of the elements under each of them. The first will obviously be the one of employment, the employing of people, and that will involve, for example, recruitment, and it will also involve selection. Other areas of consideration here will be a knowledge of the law of the country. In the UK we have employment laws that are extremely detailed, and of course if you are, for example, from another country, you would need to check the laws concerning employment within your own country. In the UK, the employment laws are very strong on this area known as equal opportunities. This is very important. It does mean that if someone applies for a post, a position in the company, along with many others, that in your position, your role of looking at that, you need to ensure that everyone applying has an equal opportunity to gain that job. And it will relate to many things, including a consideration of their age, a consideration of their gender, their race, and their religion. Equal opportunities. Anyone should have an equal opportunity of obtaining that particular post in relation to their qualifications, their education, their experience. No one should be disqualified at the outset in relation to age, gender, race or religion. Another area of consideration will be the one of education and training. It's very important to consider people joining the company knowing little about that organisation. Many companies, particularly the larger ones, will ensure that there will be a training course within the first week or month, often referred to as induction. This means that the people concerned who just joined the company will go on a course and they will learn much more about the organisation. Particularly if it's a multinational organisation. They will know where the company is positioned in the world, the type of activities it does in different parts of the world. It may mean that in a different region of the world it does many different things, makes many different products than those made in the country in which they're going to be working for the company. Also, we need to consider such things as apprenticeships, which are growing again in popularity in the UK, for example, and also the development of staff. Managers have a responsibility to develop staff, and they should ideally be looking to develop their successor in that role in the company. The third area will be the one of wages and salaries. So clearly people are unlikely to be interested in working for nothing, unless perhaps they're working for a charity or they have their own private income. But normally people are looking to be employed and to be paid for the work they do. Clearly where that is concerned, it should be a wage that fits again within the law. In the UK there are minimum wage rates for different age groups. There are also considerations of job evaluation. If you're doing a job particularly well, then perhaps you should deserve to earn more money from the beginning of the next financial year. Many companies reward certain employees, those they feel are doing a particularly good job, by providing what are called fringe benefits. That may be bonuses, that may be perhaps loyalty, it may be attendance, that they attend much more regularly than other employees. It may mean other things, such as, for example, the use of a company car. So things other than just being paid salary or wages. Fourth area will be industrial relations. The larger the company, therefore the more employees we'll assume, and many employees are related to a trade union. That does mean that the people working in the strategic human resources area of a company must look to arrange meetings on a regular basis with the trade union representatives who are within the organisation, and perhaps trade union employees as well on occasion when there might be some form of dispute likely to be taking place. So dealing with trade unions is a key area here. Another is to have in place what's called a grievance procedure. That means that if an employee feels that they are not being fairly managed or represented within an area of the company, that the manager favours another employee over them, etc., that they have some way of complaining, of disputing that if they feel it's unfair. And that grievance procedure can be dealt with, perhaps manager, employee plus someone else in a senior position. It may involve trade unions, hopefully not. It may go to an industrial tribunal and will be decided totally separately. Fifth area is the one of health and safety. In the modern age, in Europe in particular, there are great considerations in making sure staff, whilst they're employed for a company, whilst they're on the premises of that organisation, are considered to be working in a very safe environment. It does mean if there is a possible danger to do with a given task, that should be investigated and everything put in place to ensure that the danger is minimised. Some people have to climb to the top of tall buildings, have to work on the roof of a skyscraper. Some people are employed to actually clean the windows of a very tall building from the outside. So you can see some people are working in very dangerous environments. It is necessary in the modern age to look at ways of reducing the risk of injury, indeed death. And health and safety procedures in Europe under the EU, the European Union regulations, and again in the UK, they're very stringent now. If someone is injured, they can make a claim on the company. That may go to court and they may receive damages, a considerable amount of money. It also will mean the company will gain a very bad reputation. Even more so, of course, if an employee dies whilst working on the company's behalf due to some degree of negligence. So again, that will involve a great deal more money in the modern age, possibly being received on behalf of perhaps the wife or a partner of that person together with their children. They may receive hundreds of thousands of pounds. And again, it's likely to be a court case that is publicised, perhaps on television and radio, to give this company an exceedingly bad reputation. The sixth and final area is very broad here. It involves other aspects that people working within the human resources area of a company need to consider. The ones I listed in particular are welfare in general. Many companies do look after their employees and they arrange for them to be able to join a sports club. They may even play for the company football team or squash team or something like that. So out of work activities that can help build morale, motivation amongst employees. They get to know each other better. They may meet others from other departments or divisions of the company who they would not otherwise meet. And so that is often a consideration of some companies, particularly larger ones. Also, pension rights. If someone works for a company for many, many years, they deserve to be looked after in retirement. And there are various pension schemes. There are pension schemes that they can put money into, and the company itself can match that amount of money. And that money can build up over the years and be money for them on retirement, partly as a lump sum and partly to be paid to them on a monthly basis. The government of the UK are currently considering introducing new schemes on this, so there might be changes there quite soon. Some companies again provide facilities such as a restaurant or a canteen for these workers at lunchtime, and it does mean that perhaps the cost involved might be lower, that they're actually just looking to gain back the cost of the buying and preparation of the food rather than making a profit out of that particular activity. So the 6 areas that I've identified here in relation to human resources are 1, employment, 2, education and training, 3, wages and salaries, 4, industrial relations, 5, health and safety, and 6, the other general aspects.